Hey Frank, it's really sunny out there. You probably should put some of this on. Yeah, it doesn't taste good. You're supposed to eat it. Put it on your face.
Captain, don't forget me. The food odor is quite pungent.
There, is that better?
Ausgezeichnet.
No, you can't drive. What the hell's that smell?
Oh, Scheiße Luft.
It's time for another episode of The Luther Manning Show.
Hey everybody, how are you? Well, it's been a while. I think those last 3, 4, 5 videos, I think were all that one night where we opened up like 10 boxes.
That's true. We did a marathon of videos.
I probably overserved myself, so that's okay. But a lot's happened since then. We're on a couple weeks out. Today's the 25th of June, so we're a couple weeks out from Heroes Con. It's 2 big days, the 12th and the 13th of July. Al Milgram. Who else is coming? Keith Williams?
Oh, you skipped a statement. So, in 2.5 weeks is the Empire Comic Fest, which we have some guests coming, like Al Milgram.
Yeah.
I have to book his flight still, by the way. I saw him at Heroes Con, but we'll talk more about that, I'm sure, during the video. But it's a 2-day all-comic dealer event here in Rochester, New York, and it is the EmpireComicStotcom. So we get, pretty hardcore following of guests. And the dogs are excited too to hear about that. So it's all comic dealers, and we get about 6 or so like higher profile artists. This year we have Al Milgram, Keith Williams, Roger Stern unfortunately had to cancel. He had a death in the family. He was supposed to show up. And we had a couple other. We have the Rick and Morty artists and Invader Zim, Fred Stressing, Fred Stressing and Megan. And then we also have one other artist coming in. I should know who it is, but I'm not in charge of the artist, so.
I'll put it below.
Website, EmpireComicFest.com.
There we go. So that'll be all there. I'll put everything in below in the below the comments. Other than that, we have 2 boxes. One's a really nice walkthrough submission that Mike did, and then we have a high value tier, so 1,000 and up. I'm guessing you snuck in a few books that are probably more than $1,000.
Hopefully most of these books got
So Mike was sharing with me his experience on Heroes Con, where CGC was doing grading live there, and everything that they do, encapsulation and everything. So from what Mike's telling me, it was a madhouse.
Yeah, so on-site grading returned finally after being on hiatus for a few years. So CGC had done on-site grading at C2E2. I believe they did San Diego, they did Heroes Con, they did a few other shows like the Nickel City Con back in 2017 was on-site grading.
It was more common back then.
Yeah, so they kind of pulled back, and one of the reasons I think was because once they would do on-site grading, they would have to take all of their grading back at the home office, kind of put it on hold.
They're so big now they can...
If they did that a couple of times a year, it was kind of rubbernecking as far as getting books through the process in Sarasota. So full steam ahead, the books that I sent in a few weeks ago actually wound up being shipped during Heroes Con. So I know they were still grading back at the home office. But as far as the on-site grading goes, there was gift grades left and right as far as I could see.
We're hopeful that that's what happens with these, but we'll see. If it's like they don't turn out good, I'll do one of these. That'll be my thumbnail.
It'll just blend in with the rest of them.
Mike just crying out. Everybody does that, and it's so clickbaity now because you click on it, you keep waiting. Like, where's the bad thing? Why did they make that face? And it's like it's just to get you to click on it. And I'm like, all these people watching these, they enjoy people suffering.
Well, if it's any indication, so those of you that ran into me at Heroes Con, obviously Patrick didn't make it this year. I ran into, I'm going to guess, probably at least 20 people that watch your channel. DS Comics, we talked for a while. Andrew, we talked for a while. I should know your name, but there was a father-son. Actually, the whole family was there. You guys were the Flash fanatics. We talked about Flash for at least an hour, and you bought that Flash 108 from Mike Carbonero's booth But
Oh.
I missed your names.
Count the
The
pages.
guys from Elite, we talked for a while. Bub's Comics, we talked several times. Bub was going to kind of
Bob texted me actually.
Yeah, he was going to blackmail Patrick.
He
and
sent
Patrick
me a
didn't show
picture
up.
of you and him together.
Yeah, he was gonna blackmail you for that. So, but yeah, I mean, I got to talk to a lot of people there. If it's any indication, there's a hardcore following. Like all 12 people that watch the channel were all there at Heroes Con.
So thank you everybody.
Commenting.
We don't have a lot of people watch, but the ones that watch like it a lot. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, it's a bad thing. That'll be demonetized.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was gonna say it's not the length that counts, but anyway.
Hi y'all. Mike's enjoying his summertime Kolsch.
Once a year, I
We
have a
got
beer.
bellies full of tacos because it's a Tuesday, so that's the tradition.
My one beer a year here.
One beer a year.
So yeah, thanks everyone that stopped by and we talked at Heroes Con. I spent most of the time, I think, just talking to fans and comics, which is fun to do at these shows. But the reason why we're here, I wanted to send some books in to get ready
Hurry
for
up.
the Empire Comic Fest
10
show.
second skip, 10
So,
second skip, 10 second skip.
If you see anything in this video that you like, I'm sure Patrick will put the details below, but just in case, you can contact me on Instagram, sellingcomicsdotcom. My website is also sellingcomics.com. But if you guys see any books you want and can't make it in person to the Empire show, reach out to me. Oh, and this year, we are having a virtual convention. So we're going to do a Whatnot live stream on Friday and Saturday, near like the last few hours of the show. Check out the website. Go to EmpireComicFest.com. There's details about the virtual convention, but if you can't make it, or you want to see more of these great books and the stuff that I'm going to have there,
Is the Hype Man of Hype Man coming?
or the other 31 vendors that sell comics, you can check out the Whatnot details. We also are going to have, I believe, a IG live stream from Comic Sense. Ish and his crew. He had the Hype Man. So if you've never seen Ish and his guys, it's quite a piece of work.
Yeah.
But we'll have them there also live streaming and doing claim sales. I don't have the exact details yet for those two guys, but check the website, EmpireComicFest.com. Under show details, we have a virtual convention.
It's a free show, kids. So,
Yeah, so it's free in person or free if you do it online. Either one.
Yes. So show up and enjoy. There's some good dealers Mike got to come this year. Some ones that haven't been there.
I didn't mention this.
Oh.
We are going to
Breaking
have
news, kids!
breaking news for you 12 fans that watch the show. So this year, I just talked to the guy yesterday. We're going to have the Kirby Museum is going to be there at the show. And we are going to have one of the premier private owner Kirby original art collections on display at the show.
I know I'm going to shut my booth down, Mike.
So, and it's all free. So that's breaking news. I haven't announced that yet on the social.
You heard it here first.
feeds, but we do have, and we have Dan Fogel, Mr. Underground himself, is going to be there. We have Dan, and I think through Dan he got a hold of the guy's name is Tom Kraft. Tom Kraft is the president of the Kirby Museum out of Boston, New York.
Oh, great.
So he contacted me and he goes, I want to come to your show. And I hooked him up with a private owner who has a huge plethora of Kirby artwork we're going to bring to the show.
So Mike and I both have a lot of new stuff that's farm fresh. Hasn't been to any shows yet. So I withheld probably 100 books that I was going to submit, and I thought I'm going to give everyone a chance at Raw, because something Mike and I have noticed recently at shows is people seem to like Raw better.
Yes.
And I think it's the lottery scratcher mentality. They have this feeling that even though it looks like it's a 7, they think maybe, well, this might be an 8. If it's in a slab and it's a 7, that's it. There's none of that moment where you scratch off and you win the big lotto. So I think that's it, and we're going to test that out. And Mike has crazy books at this show that I've never been to the show before.
I would take that analogy a little bit further and say it's a lottery ticket you've already scratched off that you know is a winner.
Yeah.
That's $100, and you tell the buyer, hey, this is a $100 winning lottery ticket. I'm going to cover it back up. They will pay more on the chance that it's more than $100. But you say, no, I right now this is a $100 winning ticket. No, I'll give you 110. So
we're going to see.
Buyers like to have that raw
It's a big psyop.
upper hand. Yeah, the big psyop.
Big psyop. Let's see what happens.
So this first box, this is just short. I think we got about 19 books here. The first box is a bunch of walk-through books. And the first
Did you ever
one...
confirm that rumor that was going around that CGC was going to give credit if you sent those tags in?
Yeah. I went back and watched the video.
Mickey and a couple of those guys talked about it with Matt Nelson and
Hey, Maurice, So yeah, I verified it again. It was a long video I went through.
That's right, Maurice.
And again, you know, you take it in context. Matt Nelson said, kind of half jokingly, you know, they used to. So actually, this was the true part. They used to give you $3 credit for every label you returned. This is back in the early days.
You wouldn't have any
CGC.
fees for like 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. So Matt goes, you know, it kind of screws up the census if we don't have them. There's also an issue that he didn't mention, which I'm sure he probably didn't say for a reason. Again, this is breaking news. I could sell these things to anybody that wants to make. If you want a label that's got a certain grade and a certain issue number, I probably have one. But
ballpark for the kids.
There's no need to counterfeit these.
How many do you think you have?
So this is a security risk. Having these things floating up there is a security risk. So I think Matt Nelson said very, you know, tongue in cheek. He goes, I'd pay to get people to return these, and then he was pressed in the interview, like, how much would you pay? And he goes, I don't know, $100. He goes, well, hold on. Don't be sending these separate batches of labels and asking for $100. It's one per customer, and if you want it, contact me directly. We'll figure something out. So,
well, the other thing too is I think
you got to work at it.
They really do have to fix the census. And the couple of channels that I watched and they had videos on, they didn't think it was that big a deal. And I'm like, they don't watch the channel because you have thousands of these.
Yeah.
So at that most, and of all the key books, so you alone are fouling the census.
Well, okay, so here, more comics, less talk. We'll do a special one-off. We'll
10 second.
Okay, comment down below if you want to see Patrick and I go to Sarasota and wheel in a pile of old CGC labels. Comment below. We'll make that video happen.
Yeah, why not?
We'll set it up with Matt. So right off the bat, so these are the walkthrough books. This is Detective Comics 44. This was a purple label. This was a CGC 5.5. And right off the bat, it's a win because it's a blue label. This thing had color touch everywhere.
I can't really. I mean, I can tell where you did.
It had all these little wear marks.
Yeah.
So if you want to zoom in a little bit on the top edge, the bottom edge, the right edge, anywhere you see a little bit of paper reveal, that was the color touch up. And the note said minor amount, and it was like about 15, 20 places. So I'm actually happy that I didn't get a purple label. It was a lot of work. So it was a 5.5. Boom! Oh yeah, 6.5. That's a huge win.
That's a huge
wow.
win. It blew and it jumped.
Oh, you know what?
Off-white pages.
This one also had a detached centerfold. So probably it was detached, which gave it a lower grade than normal with color touch. I bet you now that it's reattached.
Fantastic.
Wow, that's a huge win. Detective 44.
Right out of the chute. Bingo.
So this is the first time that
Richard's book.
Yes, Richard. This was the first time that Robin went solo and got killed.
It's your book, yeah. That guy told
Batman's like, oh man, I should have been helping him. Oh, he's gonna die. Oh, he died.
He always lets him go first.
Was that Jason Todd? So what does it say up there? Can you read that? There's some special significance to that book.
Crimson Avenger in new costume.
There you go. It's the first Crimson Avenger.
It's for 1940 New York's World's Fair.
And it will be for sale at EmpireComicFest.com.
That old Batman logo is so cool.
Okay, so I do have one. Here, take this guy.
Wow.
So this is restored. This was a Flash 105. The first Silver Age Flash was a 7.5. Now this one had some minor restoration, but when I got into it, it was actually too much. A lot of the spine had little dots. I decided that if I was going to take that off, it would probably compromise the spine.
I tell you what, it's too bad because this is a straight book.
Yeah, and the book is gorgeous. I mean, it looked beautiful. I mean, I thought it was actually a repro cover at first. I was like, oh no, they missed it.
The color just pops on.
They missed it, and no, it's a legit cover. It's super vibrant. But
so what was it?
It was a 7.5 restored. I'm hoping to keep a 7.5. Boom! Oh, it's a win. It's an 8. Oh,
that's all right.
I bumped it up. So yeah, there's color touch on the spine in enough places where I'd probably have to take about
small amount.
I'd have to take half, like from the middle down. It'd wind up being like a 5-inch spine split, which I thought, you know what, the book is too nice to touch.
Yeah.
I'll leave it as a restored, like someone else decides.
That's a win.
Wow, that's a win. It's 2.
Well, if you want that for your collection, that's the way to get it.
Yep.
It's got the death jarts on the back where you murder your friend.
Oh. Okay, so this is Anthony. This is a U book here.
Uh-oh.
So there's a story behind this
Anthony
one.
Reaper Tate, for those of you that watch his channel.
House of Secrets, 92. And the story for this book is, this was a restored 9.0 that we had in a previous video.
Oh yeah.
And I thought for sure it was going to get something like an 8 maybe, because the restoration was very, very, very minor. And they gave me a 7.5. So Anthony saw this in the video, and he goes, hey, I want that 7.5. And I said, well, I want to resubmit it, because I think it definitely is on the edge of being an 8. So I had another 7.5 copy that I sold. I actually drove down and gave it to Anthony.
Anthony going to be happy or sad?
Well, Anthony got my under copy. It was a white page 7.5. I said, I got 2 7.5s. This one I think is better. Let me hold this book, resubmit it. I'll give you my under copy, and hopefully we both win. You get a 7.5 white. I get a grade bump. So I sent this back in straight. Let's see what happens. The grading gods gave us
Boom.
an 8. Nice. All right.
Zingo.
Perfect. Okay, so that worked out. So everyone's happy. Anthony got his copy. I got another 8 to put on the stack of 92s that I have at home.
Is that book coming back a little bit?
It's never gone down.
I thought it trickled down. Well,
Everything
at
2021
correction.
8.0 is like around 25 to 3,000
Yeah.
still. I mean, it's slowly climbing up, and it's not gone down.
This is a
Ooh.
great cover.
Another win right off the bat, because
First appearance of Loki.
take that guy. This one was a CGC 6.5 restored, and I thought I got the restoration off, but nope, it came back as a CGC 6.0. So at first you don't succeed, spend $200 and get it graded a third time, and it's a blue label.
Is it up? Boom!
5.5.
Nailed
Yes.
it.
Finally.
Nice. That's a really nice 5.5.
Keep hammering away
The
until
only thing
finally-
that this bottom corner is probably the one that kept it from being a 7, in my opinion. That corner right there. Nice looking book.
Oh, I forgot about this one. Wrong side. So I recently bought a X-Men #2, and I had a copy.
The Vanisher.
So I had a copy. So this is my copy that I've had for a few years. So I got another #2. It was also an 8.0. And I thought, you know what, I don't need both of them. I took a close look at this one. This is the label. And it looked really, really nice for an 8.0. Having one to compare in my hand. So I had 2 8.0s in my hands. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to press this book and send it in, because I think it looks like it could be an 8.5.
Let's
So
see.
let's see what we got. What's
Survey
an
says.
8.0?
Boom!
Oh, it's an 8.5.
It
goes
is.
back into the collection. Awesome.
So this is a PC book.
Yes, PC book now.
Nice.
Yeah, I've had that book for probably 3 years, and I thought, it's nice, you know. And then when I got another 8.0 to compare it to, I realized that maybe it
Off-white pages?
wasn't. The pages look off-white to me.
No, what was it?
Cream.
That's what I thought.
Oh, page quality
Yeah.
went up.
Look at that.
Hashtags Clorox Chamber.
Yes, hashtag.
Oh, nice.
Tide Pods is our sponsor.
Well, you guys, Clorox.
You just lost our sponsor.
No, go back and watch those videos. It was Clorox. We did Clorox. We do Tide also. We have all kinds of sponsors.
Tide Pods are so much more delicious. Gonna knock Leonard Nimoy on the ground.
Not much room to work here. Okay, let me shuffle the box quickly and get the other. I don't need this.
So now we're gonna go into that was the walk-through books.
Yep.
All a success.
Yeah, actually, they all were.
So the dump in the pants guy, he didn't get to say
I'm
anything.
trying to think. Only one that was kind of a close was that Flash, but I knew it wasn't going to be, unless they really fell asleep, wasn't going to be a blue
Yeah, but
label
you still
one.
bumped it, didn't you?
Yeah, going from a 7.5 to an 8 in that book is huge. There's probably fewer copies of that book on the census than all like Amazing Fantasy 15s and 2.0. There's probably only a few hundred of that book compared to the
Yeah, I
thousands
just
and
think people so
thousands
flattered.
marbles. No, there's just not that many.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the high value, and I haven't had a single taste here of this.
Delicious.
After running 4 miles, I'm dehydrated. That'll help fix it.
Nice salty tacos too. That was probably good.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm gonna take this thing back because actually no, this was actually helpful.
Ooh, a table.
The table here. Okay. So, more labels. Got a couple of
Bouquet.
CPR books. Let's start with this one over here. I think it was an A. Oh.
Oh, I got one of these. That'll be raw at the show. I think it's probably an A5, the one I
Hold
have.
that book.
Got 2 of them?
Yes.
The succulent man bag. I don't know why that started, but
You started that a while ago.
and Hippie Jim.
All right, so one of these.
Well, we're gonna try out whoever wants to be Hippie Jim. If you want to be
Yeah.
Hippie Jim, just show up at ECF dressed like
We're
Hippie Jim.
we're casting for Hippie Jim, and if you want to play
Tommy
that role,
Chong. I think Tommy Chong is what we're looking for.
if you want to play that role, please. We're doing auditions on the 12th.
No
of
tasteful
January,
nudes, please.
12th of July. So there's two of these, and one of these came from. This one did because that little rust transfer stain.
Mm-hmm.
I got this one here at C2E2. The guy had a
Oh,
pile.
yeah.
Guy had a pile of original owner books, and I went, dove into them on day
You all
two.
had that marker.
No, I just knew that was one of the books I bought at C2E2. But he had so many nice books that were super cheap.
This one is so nice, Mike.
That one was 8.5.
Yeah, this is easily.
So that
9.
one you've got in your hands.
It's at least a 9 too.
Hopefully is a little bit nicer, but this one I thought was an 8.5, and that one used to be a
Look at the color on
CGC
it.
8.5.
I mean, that one's nice, but this one just is a blazer, as Doc would say.
Yeah, they're both pretty nice.
Yeah,
Some of the
we're
ones.
not gonna go wrong either way. So you ready? 400 smash issue.
Oh, yeah.
It's a smash issue.
Right? It's a
One,
smash issue.
two,
1, 2, 3, go! Okay.
9-0.
You win that one, but it went up from an 8.5 to a 9,
Nice.
and this one I thought was an 8.5, and it is an 8.5. Yeah, this book
Off white to white.
This book has gotten exceedingly hard to locate. as
Yeah,
of
I
late.
think a lot of guys are sitting on them. I think right now too, DC, silver and early bronze, I think is a good place to grab right now because
Yeah.
I think they're great prices. And Marvel's kind of played out, and unless they can really turn around quick, but I think DC's gonna, if they reboot, I think it'd do really good. This is a
Okay, you can get the dump in the pants out because this is a green label. I didn't expect that, so
I give it to you just for the cover.
something's not right. This is Superman number 47. I got this on a trade a few months ago. It was really nice.
7th rep married.
Well, can I get divorced because I want a blue label? Well,
Hi-yo.
I didn't trade a lot for it, and I've got other good deals with this guy to trade, so I'm not going to worry about it. But it's unfortunate. It's a very nice copy of number 47.
I've never seen this before. What do you think, kids?
I think it's an 8.
Boom. Nailed it.
Oh, it's an 8. 8 married.
Nice. It's too bad. That's a nice
really
book.
nice. 1947.
Oh, it's got Tootsie Roll. What's that guy's name? Look at this guy. He walks around with a T on his chest.
The guy's name?
He's playing with kids
Is it
and
Pee Wee Herman?
Captain Tootsie, his name is.
Captain Tootsie.
Are these
A
kids?
name.
Why are these kids running? They look frightened.
He's got the bottle of chloroform right there.
What
He's chasing
did
him down.
Captain Tootsie do to them?
What he's thinking about.
Look at those kids running. That's stark terror on their face.
He had the shackles and coming out of the basement. and the
You
kids
always
just
say
took off.
strangers have the best candy. Just gotta be fast.
Oh.
That's all.
Okay,
Eat the
this
candy and run.
Tarzan style. Okay, this one you got to remember to put the clip
I
in.
love Strange Adventures covers,
Right.
and that's what this is. I just thinking back to when these came out. How cool was it as a kid going to a newsstand and that's what you saw.
Okay,
These are like Saturday matinee movies, every single one of them.
so you got to put a pause in here. 'Cause
Right.
You're absolutely gonna put the clip in this time. You're gonna put a clip right up here
Okay.
that shows these pictures. Don't forget it, like the last few times. But among the best, greatest DC sci-fi covers is Strange Adventures 79,
Oh yeah.
the Snowman cover.
Yeah.
The other one that I showed you was Challenges the Unknown number 11, which is a gray tone that has a flying alien, or an alien with tentacles on a flying triceratops. And then there's this one, which is a robot riding a giant ant.
Well, this
Chasing-
guy's totally just murdered. He just gave this thing a lobotomy. He shoots it right between the eyes.
Chasing the alien, or the humans. So this is amongst the 3 top bizarro
That's
Strange
got everything you
Adventures.
want.
There's very few of these out there. I think there's maybe 30 copies in the census.
She chose very poor footwear to be running in the jungle.
What you wearing?
He's wearing these, I don't know, ballerina shoes, it looks like.
Oh, those little slip-on night little footy
This
things.
guy's dressed
yeah.
like Ward Cleaver on the weekend.
Pop-
Oh, look
pop
at
the
it. In the back,
flip-flop.
there's another one coming.
Yeah.
This isn't a one-time thing. Look,
I'm telling you,
he's
you
got
gotta put
backup.
those 2 covers on the screen. You can see how bizarre
Strange
this is.
Adventures just has great covers.
This may be
1953.
This may be the highest on the census. And this is so bizarre. I think it's a 7.5. I've had it for years. I decided to finally send it in because I think it's so odd that I can command a high value. I think it's a 7.
It's sparking. It's just sparking.
I hear it.
Boom! I felt
it.
it. I could feel the 8 squeezing out.
Wow, that may be the highest in the census then.
That's a great book. Check it and we'll put it down below.
There you go. Oh, another win.
This was a fun book.
Another win. So this one was previously restored. Actually, no. So this book was an 8.0. I got it as an 8. Had a big bend in it. I pressed it and it came back as a 9.2 restored. They missed the restoration the first time. So, oops. Well, it was an 8.0. Good news, bad news. Very, very minor amount. So this time, I took the restoration
Did you know there's
off.
a variation of this cover?
Yes, you mentioned it in the previous video.
I know. It's where this is
the logo
yellow.
color.
It's white, and I've only ever had one.
Yep.
Have you ever gotten any of them?
Yes.
I've
so
never
the color
gotten
touch was
other
right at
than
the
one.
very top of the spine.
Yeah, you can see up in the corner.
So it was a 9.2. I'm hoping to get 8.5.
Boom!
8.5.
Look at that. You got what you wanted.
Yeah, I had to take a little piece off, unfortunately. But yeah, they missed it the first time. So it was a win-lose, win-lose.
The color strike on that is so dark. That book has never seen the light of day. That
One of my
is really
favorite books.
dark.
One of your favorites, too.
Oh.
That giddy, sadistic laugh there as people are being wholesale slaughtered.
It's bad enough that he's flamethrowing, but they're in a pit. So
Yeah.
there's no, look at this. This guy here is just wholesale getting roasted.
And he's going to lob that grenade right on top of his remains.
Oh. It is just brutal. That cover is just brutal.
And they're waiting for him to cook, too. It isn't like a fast, like, put him out of his misery.
No, they're
thing.
listening.
And this guy's, like, just shooting them, you know? It's like they're getting it all 3 ways.
Yeah, he's burning them, and yeah, why is he shooting them? Well, maybe he's being humane. And then this guy's just going to finish off with the grenade over in the corner.
So the story behind this book was my local comic shop had a copy of this one day. I didn't know what it was. I got it for $70.
We got to talk about this.
Turned out it was like a mid-grade copy. I sold that years ago, and I got another copy. And I'm looking at that again, and I'm like, this copy, it was a 3.5. It's better than a 3.5.
It's an Atlas comic from 1952.
Yeah, so I replaced it with this copy. I thought it looked better than the 3.5, so I decided to send it in and see if I get a grade bump. Yes, it's a 4.0, so it worked. Okay, back cover time.
Okay, spot reducer, electronic spot reducer.
Nice classic.
Don't say fat. You can lose pounds and inches safely, Mike. So this thing looks like a palm sander to me.
Yeah.
And then this lady's rubbing it
I
on her
bet
belly.
she's losing those spots every night.
Hi-yo! Oh, and there it is. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Come hither, look. Slowly.
Why is she wearing a bathing suit?
Yes, I don't know. Slowly creeping down my belly.
Oh, that sounds creepy.
Down to my...
All right.
Might come into the parlor.
Okay. Yes, and the next book that we have here.
Ooh.
Oh, here it is. Okay. So, if you go back in time, when Rhinos Comics was first opening,
oh yeah,
you remember how many great books were in those bins?
So killer DC horror.
The local comic shop had gotten a huge collection of books, and being a news store, he put everything out just to make money, keep the store afloat. And there was some phenomenal condition books, and I mean I pulled out a long box.
That's beautiful.
I pulled out a long box of nothing but pristine postcode.
20-cent era is my favorite era of comic.
A long box of pristine bronze horror, and that book was one of them. Yeah. And I sent in about 15 books about a year ago. One of the videos, we had a bunch of bronze books, value tiered, and I got 9 4s. Captain America's, the bronze issue, like 160, 170.
I got some of those too, and I don't think I got anything lower than 9.2.
So, Witching Hour number 33, I got a 9.4, white pages.
I got the one with the spider on the thing right in front of the guy's face.
Yeah, Witching Hour 13.
Yeah, that's
so it looked flawless, and I'm like, I don't believe they were just too strict. So I put it aside. I finally got the time to send them back in. Another comic shop had the same copy, looked as nice, so I got this one from the Curmudgeon. Oh. And I paid like $30 for it.
They're both super bright.
They both look fantastic, so I happen to have 2 copies of this.
That's a little nicer.
What?
I think this one's a little brighter, but I would have the centering on
I
it's
think
nice.
they're 9.9s. They're giving out 9.9s like everyone says.
They're at least 9.4s. Put it that.
Hopefully it's a bump up for the 9.4. Ooh, a pair of 9.8s. Ah, it's a big win. And white pages for both.
From 1973.
Wow. Look at that. Look at that. So it was worth sending it back in, the 9.4s. Now I do have like about another dozen Captain Americas that were flawless that I should send back in now. Now that I can, get the true grade. Wow. That's crazy. All those
I love
bronze
DC horror too.
those bronze horror books are pricey now. Those are probably $1,000 each.
I think because back then too, it was a different collector that collected those. It seems like the superhero guys earlier on protected the books more, where the guys that read horror books like that, they would end up in magazine racks. They stick a Coke on them.
Yeah.
This is a great book. This is a great Neil Adams cover.
So Phantom Stranger number 14.
Precursor to either Man Thing or Swamp Thing, take your pick.
Yep.
So the story on this was it Len Wein and what's his name shared they shared an apartment together, and they both kind of came up with the idea at the same time. Great book.
Yeah, so this was a 9.0. It looks really nice. The only problem was when I took it out, there is a color breaking crease right down here in the lower corner of the spine. So at first glance, I didn't see it.
Oh,
It's right there.
It's
So
fairly
you can still
color-breaking.
see it. So I don't know if the grade is going to budge much. I'm
So
hoping.
what was it?
It was a 9.0. White pages.
Survey says.
Oh, wow. Stays the same. It's still a white page, yeah.
Yeah.
But everything else in the book, it is flawless. Now, I'm the guy that had the 9.8 a couple of years ago, which I think is the thumbnail of one of your videos below. I didn't know what to price it at. I put it, I think, at $1,900, and it sold within minutes on eBay. Yeah. So it set a GPA high. So I was hoping to recreate that. Not here today. But it's a beautiful 9. Oh, speaking of more bronze, I got
Neil Adams covers were just awesome.
I got to thank you for this one.
71.
This was your fault, because when I saw this on one of your videos, I ran over to the curmudgeon, and they happen to have one right there on the wall for $60.
Like this, gorgeous. This one, my all-time favorite covers.
I got that one raw, and I was talking to DS Comics.
Bernie Wrightson.
I was talking to DS Comics about this. He called it the Swamp Skull cover.
Yeah.
That was like a little innuendo. I'm gonna get some swamp. He's getting some Swamp Skull.
He's murdering that lady, but he's about to have a bad day. Great color strike on this.
Yeah, when I got it, there was a little small ding somewhere on the edge.
There's some non-breaking color.
So
three of
I
them
thought
on
it
the
was a
spine.
9.2.
I think you're close. Maybe they might have got you down on 8.5.
Boom! Oh, 9.4!
Wrong the wrong way. So this went through fast.
Yikes! Whew. There you go.
This is, so far I think they've been accurate just as a gift grade. Although, you know what, this might just be a roller mark on the top.
Yeah, maybe.
It's nice looking.
It'll be for sale.
I featured this. This is one of the prints that I did.
It's all because of you.
You're welcome.
So, another one of the perennial classics, the 121s. This is your
I
favorite.
think I got 3 of these right now.
Yeah, it's your favorite book to get like bonus gift grades on. This was a CGC 8.5.
Let me look
Second
at it.
gen label. Definitely had a little bit of room for improvement. So it wasn't 8.5. 9.2. That's a great jump.
2 great jumps. Nice.
Okay.
I'd have to look at this, but just thinking, how often do you see 9.0s? I mean, that's like the first one of, like, is it like they just don't get 9.0s?
I just get 9.4s all the time.
It's like they go 8.5 and they're like, 9.2.
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever see them in the wild even.
So
Somebody's going to look it up and say, you're a jackass. Look at the census. There's just as many. Okay, whatever.
well, just ask Hippie Jim what he thinks.
Yeah, Hippie
so this
Jim.
was a 6.5. This was a first Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul if you want to pronounce it that way.
Yeah.
Batman 232. Boom. 8.5. Holy
Nice.
cow! It's like a 2-point jump. Wow.
That's crazy. Robin's getting shot yet again.
Yeah, it's getting gut
Oh,
shot.
chum, what happened? Well, you pushed me in front of you, Batman.
Yes. Pushed him in the way of fire.
Oh, I don't know how that happened.
Thank you.
Anyway, back to the orphanage to go get another kid.
Irreplaceable. Okay, so this guy.
This is one of his first appearances in.
That is the first.
Is it
in my
the first?
opinion, that's my first. That's the first Ant-Man. I don't buy the 2.27
You know what? They label it now. First appearance
in costume.
of Ant-Man in costume.
Right.
Because they didn't for the longest time.
Tales to Astonish was, I consider, more of a prototype It's just one of those sci-fi
It's starting
ones.
to grow on me.
And there's all kinds of prototypes in there, but I don't consider that the first.
I'm really getting nostalgic for those Saturday matinee comics, and that was definitely one
This
of them.
was a 6.0, Tales to Astonish, number 35. Boom! Yeah, 6.5. Okay, cool. Creamed off white, still creamed off white. Okay. Nice. This is the last one.
Last one, kids.
Have some fun with this one.
So, obviously, Dracula's gone to the Dr. Hypno Ray class. Oh, success.
The fruit of his labors.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, boy, it's a nice looking book.
Yeah, this was a 9.0. I had this one set in my box for the last couple of years.
That's what she said.
So it wasn't 9.0. I decided to send it in because it looked really, really nice.
Oh,
9.6.
oh, blistering.
Wow, it's a blazer.
It's a blazer. Doctor spit his coffee out.
Through his left
Oh,
nostril.
he's so going up to the castle.
Yeah.
Oh, it was worth the 23, what was it, 23 lessons? What a weird number. Why was it 23? Give me 23 times and I'll teach you how to hypnotize people like Dracula.
Wow, that's a big win right there, from a 9.0 to a 9.6. So I guess there were a few gift grades in here. I guess lesson learned: wait until the next time there's some on-site grading in the convention, and time it so your books go through the CGC grading services at the main office, and maybe you too can get some decent grades like this. Wow, there wasn't a dog in the bunch. The only one I thought was that Flash, but even that one was a
Well, I think you had one that didn't move at all.
Oh yes, there was the that one Phantom Stranger 14. But
Yeah, that's where you overbid on the Showcase Showdown.
Yeah.
So that was a great stack. 2 good boxes.
And we can do a little bonus reel here. We'll add it in on the end. So, but yeah, this is it, because we do have some modern books that didn't arrive. They actually did arrive. I wasn't at home today, but maybe we can do a quick grade reveal, because I'll just open those books. I think it's like 8 books.
The modern.
Yeah, moderns don't count.
So remember, mark your calendars. Make your way up to Rochester. It's at the JCC again. It's a great venue. Free parking. They have a great kind of like a food court out there.
It's free to come in. We don't charge. Actually, we pay people to come in. We give out money. If you come in, we give
are you
out
having
$400.
that charity cosplay people? Are they coming again?
We have Wolverine coming.
Okay.
But it's not charity.
Okay. I thought those people from Buffalo were coming.
No. That was one time 3 years ago.
Yeah,
it was a while ago.
So Mike and I also did the Buffalo show, and I showed some stuff about it there.
Yeah,
so.
and if you can't make it in person, just roll over and grab your phone, jump on Whatnot, or I think Instagram. We haven't had the details firmed up just yet, but we'll do both platforms on Friday and Saturday.
It's going to be an exciting show.
Yes.
So remember, love what you have, not what you want.
And pack safely.
Yes, as they still kind of do.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks, everybody.
Yep.
See you next time.
Bye.
We're back, kids.
B-roll.
Thanks for sticking around.
Wake up.
Anyway.
So here's a little bonus. So
Yeah.
I mentioned in the last video we did minutes ago, which is probably a couple of weeks your time, that I got a box of moderns that I wasn't at home to receive today. But it's not that many. We kind of go through the grades.
Old label goodness, Mike.
I've got the grades right here.
So,
and
want me to read them in any particular order?
Yeah, let's start with the Amazing Spider-Man 238.
Okay. It was a 9.4 white pages.
Yeah. And it went from a 9.4, it's now a 9.8. I got a 9.8, 238. Wow, that's the first 9.8 I've ever gotten in that book.
With tattoos.
It's almost a RAS, because I brought 2 copies to a show, and that one I didn't put out because I thought maybe I'll get it graded someday, so I didn't put it out. But glad I didn't, because it's a 9.8 now.
What's next? You want to do Ultimate Fallout 4?
Let's do Ultimate Fallout 4.
So it's 9.2 white pages.
Yep. And it came back as a Ultimate Fallout 9.8.
Nice.
Number
Ding, ding,
4.
ding, ding, ding.
That book is so easy to get 9.8s on.
I know. I think that's part of the reason the price is going down. X-Men 135.
And it's an old X-Men 135.
It is.
So that one...
It was a 9.4 white pages. very small back then.
And it didn't move. It's still a 9.4. It came back to 9.4. In the same order, so a couple of books that weren't CPRs. I had a Thor 337.
Yep.
That's now a 9.6. That was
There
a
you
raw submission.
Raw!
And then a Nova #1 that I just mentioned. I got at a local comic show for $40. That was gorgeous. It's a 9.6. So that's a good win.
Yeah, that's huge.
And that's it.
And they'll be at the show.
Yep, they'll be at the show also.
So thanks for stopping back in. We'll see y'all later.
Bye.